Hello, welcome to Rosebank Farm and Garden, and this is part 2 of winterizing my caladiums. So in part 1, I got all my caladiums dug up out of the yard and showed you how to lay them out so that they could cure. Well, it's been a couple weeks and it's time to get them cleaned up and stored for the winter. Some items that you'll need to do this project are some Felcos to be trimming up the caladium bulbs, some fungicide, a Ziploc bag or something to put the corms in with the fungicide. I will be using shredded paper to separate the caladium corms. Other people have used vermiculite and sawdust. I mean, there's several different ways that you could store your caladiums for the winter, but I'm using shredded paper. That's the way I'm choosing to store mine. Here is the plant fungicide that I'm using. It's by Bonide, and it's a sulfur fungicide for organic gardening. The first thing I'm going to do is take my Felcos and we're going to clean up all the caladiums. These are the pink and green ones. So just going to trim off all the old foliage. And brush off the dirt as best I can to expose the roots. So look about like that. Alright, so I'm just going to continue cleaning these off until we get the whole pile done. Let me give you a closer view of the corms. They're all dry. I knocked off as much dirt as I thought I should. Hey, Millie. And so they are ready now to apply the fungicide. Okay, next we're going to put some of the fungicide into a Ziploc bag. And we just want to, we don't need very much because we're going to be shaking it. Okay. Right, and I seal the bag nice and tight, and now we're just going to shake it and get the corms coated with the fungicide. It actually looks really good. You get your box, cardboard. There's a couple, there's a gap here. I'm not going to seal the top shut, just fold the flaps down, but you want it to be able to breathe a little bit. And then I will be using shredded paper. So I'm going to line the bottom of the box with some shredded paper. Now, some of the research that I did, it said you don't want them to touch. Others said it didn't matter if the corms touched. I'm not sure of the reason for that. So I'm not going to touch the fungicide. We're going to shake out a couple of the corms. And now I'm going to cover them up with some more shredded paper. Okay, here's how it looks so far. I have one layer of corms covered up, and let me see if I can hold this, and I'm just going to shake out the rest. It probably wasn't very good video, but there it is in there, and now I'm going to cover those up with more paper shreds. Okay, looks like they are completely covered up. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, all right. And so then this is how they will store in a closet upstairs until next spring. The pink caladiums, they are in the box and ready to go. I'm going to repeat that whole process with my snowdrift white caladiums. Okay, all done with the snowdrift caladiums. They're all stored in there after they've been shook in the fungicide. Alright, so last thing I'm going to do is label the boxes and put them away in my closet for the winter. Caladiums can be stored 3 different ways. If you live in a zone 9, they could just be left outside in the ground. If climate's colder than zone 9, could leave them out if it will be in a dry area. Now where I live, I typically get a lot of snow and rain during the winter. We did have a dry summer this year though. So it would not be a good idea for me to leave the caladium bulbs outside. It's simply too wet and they would rot, and it would be way too cold. So the third method, which is digging them up, letting them cure, and then storing them, is the best method for me in my area, and I am a zone 6. So you want to store the caladiums in their boxes somewhere where it's cool, dark, and the temperature stays 60 degrees or above for the whole winter. You don't want it to get too warm, they could break dormancy. Caladiums are tender perennials, so by storing them, I can save money in the spring, and caladiums will come back year after year as long as they're taken care of properly. So I hope you enjoyed this video about caring for caladiums for the winter, and I hope you learned something, and I'll let you know how this experiment goes in the spring when I plant them out in the landscape again. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to Rosebank Farm and Garden, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.